Guys, we're on the last video of 8.5. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay, we want to find all solutions to x cubed plus 1 equals 0. Now, if I just set you loose on this problem, I am sure what you would do is you would subtract 1 from both sides and then take the cube root of both sides, and you would get an answer of -1. And that is absolutely correct. -1 is a solution. But this is a cubic, which means there are actually 3 solutions to it. So to find the other 2, we need to work a little bit harder for it. So you will see at the end of our problem, -1 is a solution. You are not wrong about that. Okay? So what we're really trying to do, I shouldn't have erased all of that. If you subtract 1 from both sides, you get x cubed equals -1. And so we really are trying to find the cube root of -1. Now remember, that's cube root of -1 plus 0i. Okay, so that's what we're trying to find. We are trying to find the cube root of a complex number. Okay, to do that, we're going to use this formula, and we need to be in trig form. So let's launch into that. So remember, this complex number is -1 plus 0i, so it's right here. R is going to be the square root of -1 squared plus 0 squared, which of course is 1. And our angle is pi. We're going to do this one in radians, so 180 degrees or just pi. So if we want to rewrite this number in trig form, it is 1 cosine pi plus I sine of pi. Okay, that's what we're trying to take the cube root of. Okay, so now we're going to do that. We're going to use this to find all 3 answers. So we have, scoot this over so I have plenty of space. I've been known to run out of space before. So we're going to have Z0, Z1, and Z2. Okay, 3 solutions. All right, using the formula, nth root, we're doing the cube root of R. We just decided that R was 1. Cosine theta, we just decided that theta was pi, plus 2 pi times k, this k is 0, over n, that's this cube, plus the sign's going to be the same thing. I'm going to leave it blank just to save myself some trouble. So this is going to give us 1. I'm not going to write that. Cosine, that's 0, so cosine pi over 3 plus I sine pi over 3. Okay, there's our first solution. Our next one, same thing, cube root of R. Cosine of theta, we said theta was pi, plus 2 pi times k, this time k is 1, over n, which is 3. So it looks like that. Of course, that's just 1, so we get cosine, this is going to be 3 pi over 3, it's just pi. Okay, there's our second solution. And then our third one, nth root of R, so the cube root of 1, cosine theta, and we said that theta was pi, plus 2 pi times k, k here is 2, over n, which is 3. So that's going to give us 5 pi over 3. All right, so these are answers in trig form. All right, and like I mentioned in the last video, you should see a pattern. The number out front is the same for all of them, and then pi over 3, pi, 5 pi over 3. Notice these are going up by 2 pi over 3 every time, okay? So always you'll see a pattern. Let's go ahead and evaluate these, get them in standard form. So cosine of pi over 3, let's see, that's just 1/2, isn't it? So 1/2 plus sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2. We're going to evaluate these. Cosine of pi is -1. Sine of pi is 0. Oh, hey, remember how at the beginning we said one of the answers was -1? There it is. Took a lot more work to get it this way, but we got all three. All right, and the cosine of 5 pi over 3, that's in the fourth quadrant, so also 1/2. You can draw those if you need to. Sine of 5 pi over 3 is going to be negative root 3 over 2 I. So these are your answers in standard form. All right, so our last step is we want to represent these graphically. There's probably room down here to do that. Okay, to do them graphically, you need to use the standard form. Okay, so we're going to graph 1/2 and then root 3 over 2. So obviously that's 0.5. That's 0.866, I believe. So just make it look like this. So 1/2 0.866 is there. Of course, -1 is here. And then 1/2 negative 0.866. So these should be on a circle of radius 1, which if I drew it well, yeah, that's pretty good. And they should be evenly spaced around that. Okay, so congratulations, you made it through 8.5. I do want to let you know that when we are going to take a test on this next week, and how that works, we'll talk about that later. There's a bunch of formulas. I will give you formulas, so stuff like this you do not need to memorize. I'm going to give you a bunch of formulas to use on the test. I just need you to be able to work through them. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to answer those for you.